This episode of the Better Two podcast is brought to you by Kitty Mystic and DM Needham, author of My Days with the Dark Muse, as well as Love is Worth Waiting For. Hi, gang. Donna here. Thanks for tuning into the Better Two podcast. Today's guest is Paxson Chase. Paxson is a singer and a rapper, and he talks about how he got to start as a rapper and how his depression kind of influenced his biggest hit. So enjoy. Hi, Paxson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you're in Trenton, New Jersey. How's the weather there?
Just snowed, so very cold.
I think the snow's going to miss me where I'm at. I'm outside of Chicago. So I'm fortunate because I've heard anywhere that where they're going to get a lot, they're not going to get much. So
you're lucky. I wish it missed me. I wish it missed me so much.
I'm originally from Louisiana, and when I lived down there, we had snow one time when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
And we watched home movies, my husband and I, and it was funny because it was like maybe a dusting, a little bit more than a dusting, 2 inches max. They shut the city down, completely down. And I'm out there playing on the snow, and my husband's like, that's not snow.
I remember, because my friend lives down in Florida, and I have another friend in Georgia, and it's like, they got like 1 inch of snow, and they're like, yeah, we're off work. I'm like, for what? like I'm walking in like 3-4 inches trying to get to work. Y'all just off. It's not fair. Yeah.
When I lived in Dallas, they were a little bit better prepared, except it tended to ice. And I remember when I first moved there, our apartment building was right off a hill. And I can't tell you how many people tried driving up an icy hill. So we would sit there by the patio window and just watch them slide back down.
That is funny. That's very funny. I can only imagine.
I mean, it's like, and they wouldn't, it's like, you would think they would just go, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. No, they would try 3 or 4 more times. It's like, there's another way to go around.
Yeah.
But anyway, we didn't come here to talk about snow or ice or whatever. We came to talk about your music. And one of your songs, I was listening to your songs, and you have 391,000 downplays on the name that is kind of tainted right at the moment that we're recording this, Spotify. And, I want to kill myself, but now is not the right time. That's such a heartwarming song title.
Yeah, I was young. I was so young when I wrote that. I'm 20. Well, wasn't young, but I'm 23 now. I'm going to be 24 this month. So
happy birthday.
Thank you. That came out, I think I was 19 or maybe turning 19, one of the two. And I went through a lot of mental health stuff, and I kind of just found a beat off YouTube and at SoundCloud, and the producer was really cool. And I just kind of did it. I didn't write anything to it. I just kind of went and recorded it. I just wanted to talk about how I felt at that moment. And I never would have imagined that it would have done what it did, but it got me to where I am today with it. So I'm very grateful. Well,
the thing is, since you didn't write anything, you were being real and genuine in the moment. And that's something that a lot of people can relate to. I mean, when I was 19, 20 years old, I was not in the best place because you're at a time in your life where everything just seems, unless you have it all mapped out and everything's going smoothly, it's complete chaos.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have to be willing to try to figure a way around it to make yourself in a better position, a better place.
Yeah, 100%. And being so young, I didn't have resources that I have now to deal with my own mental health. So it was really hard back then. And I think my outlet was music, and most of my songs from that time of my career were really really raunchy and really sad or depressive. But I mean, my music now hasn't changed, but it's lighter. But
so there's a group, and I'm sure you've heard of them, the Smiths. Maybe not. They're a group in the late 80s.
I have not heard of them.
Okay. The Morrissey tended to write songs that the music was very melodic and very upbeat sounding. There's a song called My Girlfriend's in a Coma.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
but the music to it is kind of upbeat, da 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 da. And here we are singing about his girlfriend being in a coma, and he knows it's serious. It's So I mean, being an artist and mixing, because you do mix your sounds. There are some very soft sounds, and then there's some very dramatic music in there. But to take your lyrics and put them where people aren't suspecting, that's a gift. It takes talent to be able to do that.
And I think as my time has grown, because I have 7 projects out now, making my 8th project drops the 6th of this month. And I always wanted to be different genres because I love all types of music except for country, but I love all types of music. And not to shit on country, it's just not me. But I love all types of music, and I always want to do different genres. I want every project, when you hear the newest one, you'll be like, yeah, that wasn't like the other one, or that one's the one before. Like they're all in their own lanes. And what I try to do now is try to keep the beats or keep the instrumentals upbeat, because I think it's always fun to like jam out to a song and you're like, whoa, did you hear that? Mm-hmm. This man needs help. I think that's a lot more fun than just hearing this and going, oh, okay, he's upset.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like if you're into the vibe of the music and you're grooving, and you may have listened to the song 20 times, and then suddenly you start listening to the lyrics and you're like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. And that's been my goal lately.
And I got to say, I was listening, the bass groove on Cotton Candy Butterflies was pretty awesome. I was sitting here listening, I'm like, because I'm a bass player, or was a bass player. I haven't played in a long time. So I really shouldn't say I'm a bass player because I haven't played in a long time. But I mean, the groove was it was there. And I was like, yeah, okay. So you released 2 records in 2020. You released a record in 2018 and one in 2021. And now you're working on another one.
Yeah, I just keep going. I don't know how I do this. My friends always want to ask me how, like, what I'm dropping now is it's a mixtape called Monsters Have Feelings Too, and it's only 3 songs. And I'm only like pushing them out to like give myself time and give my fans time to like have something, because I dropped Pretend in August. That was my last project. So I'm dropping this mixtape just, to buy me some time. And my next project I'm working on now, I don't know how long it's going to be. With me, anything can change. I don't have a name, because I can say a name today and then like an hour from now, I'm like, I don't like that name.
Right.
So Monsters Have Feelings Too is just a push, just like a, here you go, I'm still here, don't worry about me. And while I figure stuff out, it's like I get into this mode where I'll drop a project, but like for Pretend, for example, I'll drop Pretend, and I was good. I did all my promotion. I kept living my life. Everything's good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do any music right now. I'm good. And then one day I'm like, yeah, let's make a project. Like, let's start putting stuff together, or I'll see something that inspires me. Like, yeah, I want to do that. So I just started working on it. So like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I did notice that your album in 2018, Walk With Me, the songs were a little bit longer, where the songs have gotten shorter in the next projects. So was there a reason why that the songs have shortened out, or is it just?
Well, yeah, there was pretty much a reason. When Walk With Me released, that was my first project, my first big project. I really didn't know what I was doing. And I thought longer songs are like the generic point, and people love that. But I developed this, like, I don't want to say a formula, but this mindset that if I have a 1-minute song and it's really good, you'll have to replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it. And that's more views, more pockets, everything. So I kind of cheated the system a little bit, but I think that pushed me to make better songs, because with 3 minutes, I have leeway to write a mediocre verse or say some dumb stuff. But like with 1 minute, I have to make sure every word counts, every note hits. So that's what I kind of got addicted to it after a while. And that's how I've been ever since.
Well, and then dare I say, it's perfect for TikTok. It's perfect for that market, because you can put that on there. You have the time frame to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing that I've been starting to get into, like stuff like that, trying to make songs where it doesn't take away from my craft and what I do, but still it's like people want to put it on their, their videos stuff.
And that can make or break,
Yeah.
If your song hits on somebody's video, we've seen it go viral
a million times. I've seen it so many times. So that's just the goal.
And I mean, sometimes the songs aren't always so politically correct either.
Yeah. So I mean, I just hope to get lucky one day. Like that one person, like I like this, do a little dance to it, and
Yeah.
there it is.
Uh, the other songs there was one other song I wanted to talk about, primarily because it really stood out, which was Oblivion off of Pretend. And it was Friends, Enemies, All Look the Same. And Can You Be My Guide into Oblivion? So did you write this around the same time when your depression was there? Or is that still something that, because I'm familiar with the feeling of being in a room full of people and feeling totally alone. I mean, all of us have those commonalities. Are you still in that place where you're not comfortable enough to know who is truly your friend? Has that happened because you have garnered some success?
100%. I mean, I've dealt with depression since middle school. I started talking about it in high school. I just recently found out I'm bipolar. Like mental health has been a part of my life for my whole life. Um, so when it came down to Oblivion, I wrote Oblivion. I was listening to Mac Miller, who's like a real inspiration of mine, and he has a song called Self Care. And at the end of Self Care, he says Oblivion, yeah, yeah. And I took that and I slowed it down, and that was the hook. And what it meant for me is I see friends, I see demons, I see enemies, they all look the same to me. It's just, I genuinely, I've met a lot of people that were close to me that really, hurt me. And I've met a lot of people that weren't close to me that did everything for me. So a lot of times I'm very confused. Like even now in my friend group, they're going to hear this and get on my ass. But even now in my friend group, I have a good 6 friends that I really trust. And even now it gets to the point where I'm like, I don't trust you. like, I don't think I think you're going to do this or that. And they reassure me sometimes like, yo, like calm down. Like we don't care. But, some of them I went to high school with. So like I was normal before this. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not to say I'm on some Kendrick Lamar or some crazy level, but like I was just a regular person. Now I'm Paxson, and like they do music too, and they'll come to me for help. Like, yo, how did you do this? How did you do this? And I keep telling them like, I just got lucky. Like one song went viral for me, and that's all that was. And honestly, if I knew what I knew now, that song, I would have pushed that song a lot more going viral than just hoping that it did something, because I didn't know what the hell to do at that time in my life. So I honestly, I don't think my friends are against me because of my music. I just think people are against me, period, because I'm so used to being alone that letting someone in is weird, period. I mean, the last time I let someone in, I was in a relationship for like 5 to 6 years. And I talk about it on Pink 1 and Pink 2. And obviously that didn't go too well. And I've just never been the same since, honestly.
Well, I mean, it takes a long time to get into a position where you're comfortable around somebody. I mean, my first marriage, I was with the person 3 years. We got married. It lasted a year. And then, yeah, I dated occasionally, but I was single for 10 years before I met my next husband. And it was partially because I wasn't secure enough with me. And so I certainly wasn't going to let somebody into my world and make the same mistake I made before. So I can see where you're at, because it's like, even though you've known these people, you don't know how things change, and you don't know what somebody wants from you. And depression, it's a major thing. I mean, depression can take you down and make you question. I mean, I've hung out in the past with friends and left their house and been like, oh, did I say that? Should I have said that? That could have been wrong. Maybe they were misinterpreting 100%. That. And the thing is, they didn't even think about it.
Yeah, right. It's always like that. I mean, especially when you like get to the point of like people leaving. Like I grew up with one guy from middle school through high school, years after that. And he started the whole music stuff with me. He was my engineer for a long time. He taught me everything I know about mixing and mastering. And he just one day got up and said, I don't want to be your friend no more. I haven't talked to him since. It's been years. And I've never gotten closure for it. I never understood why. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I wish I would have figured out. It's like life happens. But stuff like that really makes you wonder, like, who's really, there for you and stuff like that. So I stay with my back to the wall sometimes, but then I do believe that the friends I have now are great people and that they're not going to do these things. but it's always that voice in the head, you know what I mean? And that's where I'm at sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a certain point with reassurance. People can reassure you, but it doesn't always ring true because your mind will go back to, well, what if they do exactly what the other person did?
Exactly.
And, you know, times are a lot different than when I grew up. And now with social media, you don't know, and somebody can message, you can be sitting in a room with a group of people and they can message stuff about you. And you would never know.
Never know at all. And that's like a huge fear now for me personally. Like if I'm at a party, because I'm really big on like, you know, enjoying the moment, get off your phone. And like if I'm at a party or whatever, the rare times I do go and everyone's on their phone, I'm like, yo, this is weird. Like she's probably saying something to him. It could be about me, it could not. Like I don't like it. I just don't like it. I just don't like it at all.
Well, there's no privacy now. I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, let's say, okay, you have another viral song and you start garnering some success and you get to go out on tour. Have you even toured yet?
I've taken a couple shows, but I've never been like on full-fledged tour.
So let's just say you get to go out on tour. Back in the day when I used to hang out with bands, I didn't have to worry about somebody filming a conversation I was having if I was sitting in a bar it was fine. We got to talk. Now I highly doubt that would happen.
Yeah.
Because that if you're sitting there talking to a girl or a guy or whoever, somebody can create some kind of story for TMZ and off it goes.
Yep. 100%. I'm still adjusting to the little bit of fame I have. Like I'm not to the point where I don't have to work my 9 to 5 and I don't have to, you know, do my chores and stuff like that. Like I'm a regular human in my head, but there's times where I go to talk to girls and they're like, I already know who you are. Like, oh my God, like you're Paxson Chase. And I'm like, that's creepy.
That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's like really creepy to me. I don't like it. I'm just not up used to that yet. People will come up to me like, oh wow, like I love your song, I love the project, and I get a picture. And I'm like, please don't touch me. Like, I don't know you, sir. Like, I mean, I still take the picture, but in my head, I'm like, this is weird. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to that. And that baffles me because it's like, it's a small piece. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm locally known. I'm known in like 2 other countries that I've never been to. But other than that, it's still weird to me.
It's very weird. And I'm sure it's weird I'm sure you've gotten direct messages from people going, oh, I love your song. And all that. It's very mind blowing.
Yeah. I see with me, the songs I make are a lot different than a lot of other artists. So I don't even get I love your song sometimes. Sometimes I'll get people like showing me their wrists and telling me how like, oh, you helped me stop and I thank you for that. Like that's so much pressure on my shoulders. Yeah. So like I had one guy and he was a different story because I still talk to him to this day. He just got out of a psych ward and he was like, the first song I listened to was your music and I just want to thank you because you kept me like sane in there. And I was like, that's still a lot of pressure. But that helped me realize that at one point I was telling everyone it'll be okay. And I was telling everyone all my pain and how they're not alone. But I felt the same way they were feeling without getting help. So I felt like I was a liar. So that's when I checked myself into a psych ward. And that really opened up a lot of mindsets for me. And I don't know his guy's name. I've never met him in my life, but I still thank him for this day.
Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes people come into our lives in the weirdest way to transform us.
Exactly. It's weird. I mean, it's very rare I talk to him. It's through Instagram. I talk to him like once every 2 months just to check on him. Like, how are you? Yeah. Are you good? He'll check on me. But it's cool. I'm thankful for all the fans I have, especially the ones that tell me how much I helped them from hurting themselves or offing themselves, because I'm not a superhero, but it does put in perspective that like your voice can matter. And I used to take it as like, I have to do this. I have to make these songs. I have to. But after a while, I calmed down. I realized that I'm just a person and I can do my best, but I can't overexert myself for strangers at the end of the day.
Well, even for a loved one, I hate to say it, you can't save anybody else but yourself.
Exactly.
I had my mom and I tried saving her and it didn't work. Ultimately, she took her life. But I had to learn that, and I had to release the guilt from that, because there's a lot of guilt attached to that when you can't save somebody else. So you
Mm.
have to get to a mindset that I can help others, but I can't save them. That's their choice.
Yeah, and I'm slowly getting there sometimes because a lot of times I wonder like how many people I used to. I don't do it too much anymore, but I used to have like hours of conversations with different people, just letting them know how much they're worth it and just talking to them, because some people don't have money to talk to. And sometimes I always wonder, like, did that help? Or like, hopefully they didn't do it. Like, there's nothing else I can do but just wonder, you know what I mean? Not like I can go to the UK, Australia, or wherever they are and try to help them. I just gotta hope. Like, and that's all it is, a lot. Just a lot of hope.
That's all you can do. I mean, I read cards, and there occasionally will be somebody that will reach out and leave a comment or send me a message saying, you really helped me with that. You helped me with that. And it's just a pulling one card, but it's still the fact that I got through to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
and made
Exactly.
a difference for them.
Exactly.
And being an artist, I mean, that's a lot of responsibility and pressure to, I can only imagine seeing, somebody showing their cuts to you. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a lot of pressure for you, because how do you continue to connect with that? And you have to make the conscious choice of, I want to write a little bit different music because this is where my headspace is. But if they're still wanting this, how do I transform?
Every day, every day. Cause like, I delete the messages right after. Like they'll send me the cuts and I'm like, hey man, I appreciate you. You're worth it, yada yada. And once the conversation I feel is dead, I delete it. Like I can't, because I don't want to go back to my DMs and see that and then I'm like, what's this? Or I click in it or I remember it. I can't do it. So when I first when I got into music, I was a rapper. Like full-fledged rapper, all the stuff that you think of a rapper, I was a rapper. And I was pretty good. I remember in high school, I used to walk around with a sign that said, "We'll rap for food," like just for fun to see what people would give me money for it. I used to be downtown and just freestyle, and I get food for that, money for a bag of chips. Like, here you go, bro. Like people would laugh at me in school. Like I was known for freestyling. Like that was me. So when I transitioned from Welcome Me, even in Welcome Me, you could still hear a couple of the rap songs before I transitioned to, I think, Pink or whatever. That's when I started the whole singing and the melodic tunes and stuff. And my friends are like, yo, you could rap, bro. Get back to the rap stuff. We want to hear this. We want to do this. And I'm like, I can't. I physically can't, not physically, but mentally, I don't think I can because of that exact reason. Because I don't want to go have fun on a track to start rapping. And then there's people looking like, yo, what is this? You know what I mean? And then I think like I try to be fair and half it out. Like my last project, well, not my last, but Blossom was a more hip hop oriented project where the first half was, a little bit sad and melodic, but the rest was like real hip hop. I also try my best to like mix them in together because I understand that there's people who aren't my fans but would like to, hear my music, but no one wants to admit they're sad. You know what I mean? So no one's
Right.
gonna go out there and like, hey man, you heard this Paxson Chase song? Man, he was talking about how he wanted to die. Like no one wants to do that. So like I try to like be like Cotton Candy Butterfly, for example, or Sun Dry City. I try to do stuff like that every now and then. But I do try to keep my core with like the truth of who I am and what I've been through. And there's a lot of people that I know in high school, and like back then I was just a regular guy. Now I'm Paxson Chase, and like they'll hear my music and they're like, "Yo, like you was going through all that." Like I'm weird now, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm an anomaly. Like I'm not just the funny guy who was in high school because they didn't know that I was dealing with that in high school and now. So I can't change. Well, I can, but in my head I can't because I know what it is. Change is weird. Change is scary. So for my fans to hear what they've already heard and then me just have fun on tracks, it'll I feel like it'll be weird for them. And that's just not what I want.
But look at him in him. Look at him as the rapper, the serious rapper, right? And then I can't think of his side group that he did. That was just
D12.
kind of, yeah, there we go. That was totally off base. I mean, yes, he was still rapping, but it was more comedic and lighthearted than the serious stuff he was doing.
That's fair.
Don't pigeonhole yourself into a narrow little trench.
That's fair. And this is where my friends come in because like I'm trying. Like I generally
Mm-hmm.
am trying. I do have some different songs now, and I really hope this next project is like I hope it's well received because I think it's gonna be different. I mean, I only had like 3 songs that's between me and you that are good, but sooner or later, I know that I'm gonna try to do certain things. Like I said, I always want to do different things, and every project's different. So I hope.
I have another. I have another regular guest. Well, he's been on the show twice now, Servon Campbell, who he started out. He's a singer slash rapper, but he started out. And the only reason I'm laughing, he started out as a stand-up comedian, and unfortunately, he has an Instagram tag of Sex Monkey Limo Driver. And because he was verified at Sex Monkey Limo Driver,
You can't change it.
no.
That's funny. That's
So the
funny.
reason I bring this up is, see, if you start figuring out who you are now, you can deviate a little bit because people still know him as Servon, but they also know him as Sex Monkey
Sex
Limo
Monkey
Driver.
Driver. That's funny. I mean,
Go ahead.
I understand that too, and like that's stuff like that is what makes me like really want to try it out. Because at the end of the day, I think what's the worst that could happen? Like I'm not rich off this. I make a couple coins off of this, but what's the worst that could happen? So I'm definitely gonna try it out.
I mean, Spotify, we all know, does not pay well, just like Amazon doesn't pay authors well. So, but it's one of those things. It's like now you have the opportunity to have your creative projects out there,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not going to get rich off of it.
Yeah, 100%. So what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah,
That's pretty much how I think of it.
So put yourself out there and see where you go. So you've dealt with your depressions, or you're still working through some of it? I mean, I know it's got to be a daily task.
Every day is a day. Sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're good. Just got to keep going. I'm kind of really used to it. I've dealt with it for so long that I can kind of say, okay, yeah, this is gonna be a bad day. Let me try to do this real quick before it gets hard. But that's kind of how it is. Like people that have dealt with depression, they know like sometimes you're gonna be able to get out of bed and sometimes you're not. And that's just kind of how I go with it. I try to create a goal for the day so I can like try to force myself out of bed. And if I can't, I'll try to do something that I can do in bed. Like I'll grab my computer and like listen to some beats or, stuff to keep me busy so I won't sleep for the next 3 days or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was going to say is your generation, you're lucky because your generation is more open about depression. Mm. When I look at my mom's generation, that they would not even talk about it. And my generation, we talk about it somewhat, but it's more of, they're more embracing of it now than as opposed to years ago. I mean, I've talked about this before. I've had a therapist for a long time on and off because when my parents split, I was 10 years old, 10 years old, and I acted out. I was a bad girl. I forged a demerit slip with my mother's name and got busted. So I got detention after school every day. I just didn't want to upset my mom because I got a detention. And, the logic here is it doesn't make any sense because the logic says she's going to find out if you're after school with detention, but nah. So I forged her signature and I'm not proud of that. I got caught because obviously I didn't do it well. And I'm a little kid. I'm in 5th grade. So, but I was so messed up from their divorce that she put me in therapy. And that actually gave me the avenue to say, okay, having a therapist is not a bad thing.
Yeah, 100%. When I was younger, because I believe, let's start with this. When I was in high school, I believe, depression and stuff like that was a trend. It wasn't like, oh, this is important. It was like, oh, I'm so sad. Like I remember people like writing, like coloring dots on their hand, getting tattoos that said "cut here." Like it was a trend. Now it's like a real important thing, and I love that fact that I'm like a part of that, helping people with that. But I remember when I was younger, and I went through like stuff in life. My mom thought about it and she didn't want to do it. And she thought about it again. She's like, okay, let's do it. We're going to put you in therapy. My dad didn't want to do it. So it was that. My dad is well known in the city, and the best place they had for us was a couple miles down the road, not too far, but not too close. But he knew like two, three people that worked in that facility, so it was automatically enough. It's just not happening. So I couldn't find anybody. I mean, I was like what 7, 8, so I didn't know what I was like whatever they say. From there on, I dealt with my life. My mom tried to get me back in therapy when I was like 15. Still no. That's how it was. So kept going. I didn't actually get help till I was 21, 22. So I've only been doing this therapy stuff for 3-4 years now.
But you can see the benefit of it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, even after the therapy and the psychiatrist and going to inpatient, stuff like that, I am more than blessed because I can't even imagine I can't imagine, but like it would have been not good. Like, yeah, just that simple. So it was better off for me. I'm grateful for the officials that I've worked with and the people that I've met, and I can't imagine not doing it now.
Well, I was going to say, about your dad. You said your dad knows some people, and my dad was a retired fireman, or at the time he wasn't retired. And it's not that he knew everybody, but my therapist wanted my dad to go because my mom would go to therapy with me on occasion. She'd come in and talk, and my therapist wanted my dad to show up, and he wouldn't. My dad would never. My dad has gone through all sorts of stuff. He will not see a therapist. Never, ever. And I think, part of and this is one thing I have to say, in the older generations, men were taught to stuff their feelings. And if their child had a mental health condition, that showed that something was imperfect with them, not the kid, but them. So I think the older generations just didn't quite get that it's not a reflection on you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is something
just inside of me, like you didn't make it. And plus my dad's not from America. He's from a country called St. Lucia. So he grew up on an island, in the village. Like that's not what they care about. They didn't even think like that's blowing their mind right now.
Yeah.
So for him to come over, meet my mother, and then his son, who's fully Americanized, never been to the country at that point, it's just like, I'm sad. He's like, why are you sad? Like, you have roof, clothes on your back. I didn't have that village. All that bullcrap. And I'm just like, I'm sad. Like, I don't know why. I can't control it. So it was hard to explain it to him. And I still try to explain it to him. Even now, I can say he's gotten better in his old age. He tries to understand it a little bit more. But then there's times where he's like, why are you sad? And I'm just like, we talked about this, but okay. Because like now I'm at the point where I can do what I feel. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. So I don't have to ask you for me to go to therapy. I'm going to therapy tomorrow. Like simple. Right. So if you don't understand, you don't understand. If you do, you do.
I think, you make a good point when your dad was sitting there saying, well, you have a house, you have this. But look at people like Kate Spade and the other celebrities, Robin Williams, people that seem to have their stuff together. They had the nice things. They had notoriety. They had all of these things, but yet they still ended up taking their life.
Exactly. I mean, if I remember like trying to tell him stuff like that. And he was like, okay. like, but you, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I was so young, so I couldn't do anything about it. I just bit the bullet and lived my life the best I could. But I think that's when I kind of got into music. I've always wanted to be an artist. I've always wanted to do music. I didn't start till high school. I met a guy and he was like, yo, you're really good at this. Don't stop. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do next, so I'm stopping. And then he was like, yo, you need this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, I'm also poor. So we scrounged up money and we figured it out and we got the recording mics and stuff. And then we went from there. And I just haven't looked back since. And that's really what keeps me going. The music is what helped me, deal with my issues and also help other people deal with theirs.
So where do you see yourself going? I mean, I know in mental health, we're not supposed to look forward to pontificate about our future. as far as years from now, but do you see yourself continuing to make music?
Um, I always I always said as a joke to my friend, like, yeah, man, if I'm not somewhere comfortable or successful, because I don't want to be famous, I don't want to be all that. I don't want awards. I don't care about that. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be able to have my bills paid and just eat and take care of my mother and take care of my family or whatever the case may be. I want to be comfortable. But I always say, like, if I'm not comfortable by 30, I'm done. I don't want to keep telling people at the age of 30, look at the link in my bio. I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm hoping that it doesn't get to that point. I mean, I say that, but when it's something you love, you just kind of keep doing it. So we'll see what happens. I never really look too far into the future because that makes me nervous. Yeah. So I kind of just say, yo, I'm gonna just go with the flow and hope.
Well, it's about managing expectations too, because if you sit there and you look forward and you make this plan and it doesn't work out, then you're disappointed and that sends you down a downward spiral. So you have to manage your expectations to keep it balanced. I get that. I do. And I mean, going back to something you said, yeah, you don't want to be famous. I mean, fame is awesome. I'm sure it's wonderful. But then when you give up everything you have to give up to be famous.
Yeah.
I mean, would you want to give up your privacy? Do you want people going through your trash? Do you want people constantly touching you and taking pictures with you and never giving you a moment's peace when you're at dinner?
No, 100% no. I sleep a lot, so I can't imagine being in my home sleeping and then I hear stuff rumbling. It's a person in my trash. Like that. That's just not cool. I'm okay. I just rather, because I know if I'm comfortable off music, I'm gonna be known regardless. You know, like I'm still gonna be quote unquote famous, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, yo, there he's walking down the street. It's like, yo, he looked like Paxson Chase, but I don't think that's him. Like, you know, I can just live my life a little bit better,
right.
A little bit more, a little bit lenient, but I can't see myself being like big on all the award shows, winning all the awards. I'm just not really big into all that.
But you got to also wonder how long the award shows. I mean, I know they've been around for a long time, but with all the social media aspect of things, are the award shows really going to stick around?
That's true. I mean, I believe they are because everyone needs validation, famous or poor. And I think Macklemore said it best. It's just insecurity dressed up as compliments. And everyone wants a compliment, rich, famous, whatever. I don't care. So I believe that they're going to still be big. They may be a little bit more virtual, stuff like that. They probably won't be, big dresses on the stage anymore. I don't know. But either way, I'm okay. Like, either way, I don't need to find out.
How did you handle lockdown and COVID and everything?
I was an essential worker. So okay. I was working. I was delivering packages for Amazon. Worst job I ever took. But I was an essential worker. I was working on Pink 2 at the time. That was one of my hardest projects. Because Pink 1, when I was dealing with the issues with my ex, we were still together when I wrote that project. Okay. So it was more of like a point of view of like not point of view, but like a view of what we're going through right now at this moment. So Pink 2 was like, yo, all that stuff I told you about, we broke up, man. Like, here you go. Like, yeah. So that was a lot harder to write about. I worked through that all through the lockdown, and I didn't get it out till the next year, I believe. So it was still hard to get, but I got it.
The interesting thing, because I was not I was not working during the pandemic, but I had to take my husband to dialysis. So for me, I still was on the road. And I remember just the amount of traffic was, while there was still cars on the road, there was not nearly as many.
Yeah.
It was bizarre because it was like,
it was weird.
Okay, it was almost like there was a movie called The Day the Earth Stood, Night of the Comet, where everybody was dead. It was like a zombie movie almost, but the cars, there was a few cars out there. It was just bizarre.
Yeah.
Very bizarre.
And for me driving around, people were like I was the plague. Like they ordered it, I gave it to them, like, we can leave it on that right there. I'm like, all right, no problem. Like, I'm like, people were freaking out. I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't a big deal. It was obviously a huge deal. It's just you kind of ordered this. You should have seen that me coming. Like, you don't gotta treat me like I had. Like, it was a weird part of life.
If you go back to 2020, it's like, okay, so and you leave the package there, then I'm gonna go get my gloves, then I'm gonna spray Lysol over the box.
Yeah, all over it. Yeah. Yeah, it was extra.
It was extra. But we've survived. Yeah. So far, of course, now apparently there's another variant.
Bro, I'm so over this. I'm tired. Like, I'm so tired of it. Cause like it feels normal, but then like in your heart it's not. People are still freaking out. Like my mom's a germaphobe. So she's like, whoa, why you bringing your friends over? You don't need all people over to get this. I'm like, Mom, it's over. Like it's over.
It's the, when 2020 happened and it just kept, every day you turned on something, it's like, here we have COVID, then we have murder hornets, and we have all I could think of was Billy Mays and the OxyClean ads back in the day of, but wait, there's more.
Exactly. Like it was always something else. And I just, like the murder hornets, I didn't understand. Cause I'm like, where did these come from? Like, why is this next? And then I would go outside and I would freak out because of a bee. I'm like, no, not like this. Like, I don't want to be taken out by a hornet.
But then let's ask, where were the murder hornets? I mean,
never seen one. I think they're just doing that to fuck with us. I fully believe they're like, yo, watch this. Like, there's no other way.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, just everybody was on high alert, so let's give you something else. Yeah. And somebody actually posted a meme that said, do you realize you say 2022, just like 2022, the way they said it was kind of amazing because it was like we're repeating 2020 all over again. I'm like, no, we're not doing 2020 again. I've had enough.
I can't do it. I mean, lockdown helped me write some great songs, but I'd rather not do that again.
No. And everybody wants to get back to normal life. I mean, it's kind of funny where before everybody was just, okay, I need to make sure that I do this, this, and this, and this. And I was guilty of it. I used to carry around a can of Lysol. I had a husband that was terminally ill, so I carried a can of Lysol in my car. I had the gloves. I had the mask before they mandated the mask. But now, it was like after he passed, Lysol came out the car. I mean, I had hand sanitizer by the front door, hand sanitizer still in the car. But as soon as he got home from dialysis, I'm spraying him with Lysol. I mean, it was just, I look back and it's like, wow.
Like that, I really went through a lot. Like, it's really a lot. It's really like too much.
Yeah. But that was life. We've survived, and hopefully eventually this kind of tampers down a little bit and we can finally get back to normal life.
I read somewhere because I got so tired of it. I looked up how long does it take to get over a pandemic, like worldwide. And they were like 5 to 6 years. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I will leave. Where will I go? I don't know, but I cannot do this anymore.
Well, I mean, the Spanish flu pandemic was 1917. I don't know how long it lasted, but I'm pretty sure it lasted a while.
Yeah. They probably have. I don't know. I'll take your word for it, honestly.
But then when you think about it, then we went into the stock market crash in the 1920s. So hopefully history is not repeating itself.
Yeah, God. Oh my God, the world's going to shits. The world's going to shits.
Now, I've had a couple of people who are like, well, we're living in biblical times. It's Revelations. And I'm like, this has all happened before. I'm sure they said the same thing back then.
Y2J and all that. Like, I just feel like history repeats itself, but I don't think it. I mean, I don't know, because some stuff I'm like, whoa, that was a little supernatural there, but then I'm like, that just feels normal. So I mean, I just go with the flow. I just be existent sometimes. Just I'm here.
That was my husband's motto: go with the flow. And he didn't always go with the flow, but that was his motto. It's like, yeah, just go with the flow, babe. Like every time I turn around, something happens. Like, quit turning around, just go with the flow. I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to live sometimes.
Yeah. So you hope to have something out. You're putting something else out. When do you think the next project will be out after that?
I don't know. The year has just started. We're in 2022, so I definitely know it's going to be in 2022. I drop a lot of projects. God damn. So I know the ninth one will definitely be in 2022. The mixtape comes next week or this weekend. So I want to say February, March, April, but knowing me, it could be before that, during April, or after that. It'll be this year. That's all I know.
That's all that matters. As long as you have, I mean, I hate to say it. I was supposed to have a book out last year. I didn't put a book out last year. I tried to put a book out last year. I didn't put a book out last year. I finished a book in 2019 and I've been rewriting it 2 or 3 times now. So I hope to have a book or 2 out this year. But
I fully understand. It just, whatever happens sometimes.
Yeah. I started this last year and it's got a mind and life of its own. So there you go.
No, yeah. Some things take off that you don't expect to. I didn't expect for me to drop a project every fucking year. Like, I'm so tired sometimes. Like, yo, another year. I did it again. Like, I dropped 2 2021. Did I don't remember the timeline sometimes, but
sometimes the way our society is though now, you have to stay relevant. You have to keep dropping things. You have to keep yourself out there. Otherwise, people are like, "Huh? What? Who?"
Yeah, and I one of my favorite artists' name is Hobson. He hasn't dropped an album in so long. He was doing a Q&A, and someone asked him like, "When's the next album?" And he was like, "No one cares about albums anymore. Like, you guys want singles over singles over singles. Dropping an album, you'll hear the full project, and you're like, okay, what's next?" So it's like, he's going to take his time now. And I took that to heart. I was like, you know, that makes a lot of sense because I'm dropping project, and a little bit of singles in between. And then like, I'll get like, all right, that was a cool project. So when you going to drop something next? When you going to work with this person? When you going to do this? I'm like, yo, I just gave y'all 7 songs, 8 songs, 9 songs, whatever the case may have been. Why do you keep bothering me? Like, come on, man. So I fully understand like the aspect of everyone wanting projects. Because even with my favorite artists, I'm like, all right, bro, you could drop an album now. Come on, man. But as an artist, I understand like it takes time, it takes work, and it's not something that could just be spat out. Like, it takes a lot of work, a lot of clearing, a lot of non-musical stuff goes into music. So I can't just give you a song because then I'm getting sued later. Like, I got to make sure everything's clean.
Oh, I completely understand. It's like, you know, people don't understand all that goes into a book. Well, you just sit down and write a book. That's it, right? No, you have to, just like music, you have to edit it. You have to come up with a cover design. You have to come up with copyrights for yourself to protect it. I mean, it's over and over again, and nobody, oh, well, I don't want to pay that much for it.
No, you don't want to write a book. Like, no. You don't want the book then. Like, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, you understand as a musician, it's the same game, just a different guise.
Exactly. I'm not used to it. I use samples a lot. I'm not too much, but I use a decent amount of different samples, and I don't need that in my life. So I try to make sure a lot of things are cleared and done. So
I had a guest on the show who he was reached out by a certain artist, which I will not name on the show, but he was a pretty popular artist. He thought he reached out to him, said he wanted to collaborate. So they collaborated, allegedly. At least he thought he was working with the artist. He had the track. He collaborated on the track. It came out, and then he started getting dissed by this other guy's fans. The track went goodbye, and that was it. And he was getting roasted by the fans, by the artist's fans. And I said, "Did you actually sign a contract?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, next time, make sure you sign a contract. That way you get compensated and it's all cleared." But yeah, it was just, you have to have your clearance taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like stuff like that happens all the time. I've seen it all the time. I know my friend, he used a sample once, and another guy used the same sample. Mm-hmm. And he like, "Yo, you stole my song. You took my song, yada yada." And my friend was trying to explain, like, no, it's the same sample, but different songs, different beats, just the same sample. And dude was like, "Nah, I want to fight this, that, and third." You're like, bro, you're not listening. Okay, it's the same sample. People were just so aggressive. So, that's why I just need everything clear. I just try my best to make sure that I clear everything before I do anything, because I'm not dealing with it.
Well, there's been big name bands that have been sued by, I'm not even talking smaller artists, but older artists, because your rhythm sounds just like that songs that we wrote. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to sue you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've seen it a lot in like other rappers and other artists too, like Juice WRLD. his very first song that made him famous, Lucid Dreams, he got sued by some really old band. I don't remember the name because he used that sample or it sounded like that.
Wow. So it's been fun. It's been an interesting conversation. Is there anything that we didn't discuss that you would like to add?
Not really. I mean, follow me, find me on all platforms. Google. It's Paxson Chase, Paxson, and Chase like the bank. Meanwhile, while Monsters, oh God, I forgot it. Monsters Have Feelings 2 releases this weekend, the 6th of February. If you don't want to hear that, I did just drop Pretend in August, so that's a lot different, a lot better, I believe. So just hear those guys out until my next project comes.
And by the time this comes out, you may actually have your new project out.
Maybe. So if that's the truth and you're hearing it by now, peep that too.
Yeah.
I hope.
And all your social links will be in the show notes, so they can find you easily. I do appreciate you coming on. I mean, I appreciate your honesty too about your depression, because it's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. More people do nowadays, but it's still you being honest about it. And you never know who you might help by being honest.
No, of course. And I think that's the goal. I'm so transparent with like a lot of my life, like that people are more either surprised or kind of like a little creeped out. But I just tell the truth because no one told me the truth. No one was there for me. So I'm like, I got to do my best to be there for whatever 12-year-old boy or girl or 43-year-old guy that just needs a voice sometimes. So what it is. And I appreciate you having me to give me that platform.
No problem. Just keep doing you, you be you.
Thank you.
And like I said, if you think about it, look at Eminem. He had the diversity. You can always do that.
Yeah. And I'm fingers crossed. I'm going to try it out.
Okay. So I always like when somebody comes on and they're honest about who they are and about the struggle that they've had, because a lot of us have struggles. And how do I say this? We don't always find someone we can relate to. But if you're listening and you have that moment where you don't know if you can go on and you're trying to figure out, what can I do? Well, reach out to somebody. And I've talked about this before. For Paxson, music is a way of life for him. And that's how he manages some of his depression, by writing lyrics. And as he said, I want to kill myself, but now is not the right time. That song, like I said, it's blown up. It's a huge hit. And the fact of the matter is, he went in there and just spoke his feelings. He just talked about how he was feeling in that song. So if you are going through a tough time, if you're a singer, if you're a musician, record yourself. If you're a writer, sit down and journal or put it into a fictional character. Let that character have that struggle for you. Find an outlet for it. Talk to somebody, because depression is not an easy thing to get past. And yeah, his dad's like, well, you have nothing to be sad about. And that's a problem. A lot of people will look at somebody's life and say, but look at all that you have. Everything should be fine. But sometimes internally, we can't get past it. So you have to be willing to take a deep look at yourself, at your shadow self, and see how you're going to work through your problems, work through your life, and dare I say, fix it. Because there is a tomorrow and there is a good day tomorrow if you're willing to be open to it. So on that note, I hope you go check out Paxson's music. There's some really cool songs on there. So check him out. He's on Spotify, which I know Spotify got a bad rap, but that's where he's at. And I think you'll like some of his songs. On that note, as always, if you want to be a guest on the show, if you want to leave me a question, comment, concern, you can email me at Donna, DAUNA, at better2podcast.com. That's Donna at better2podcast.com. We have a website called at www.better2podcast.com. All our social media links are there, and you can support the podcast there as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye. The Better Two podcast is mixed, edited, and produced by Rich Zai of Third Ear Audio Productions.